Next on the list, Wanted. That whole fiasco. Wanted could have been so unbelievably better than it was. The original premise of Wanted is that basically, in just about any comic book universe, the villains outnumber the heroes at least 10 to 1. And the villains, a lot of them have stupidly broken powers, like reality-altering powers. That was demonstrated in, most recently, I guess, House of M, where Scarlet Witch basically wished away a good 99.99% of all mutants, and made it so the world basically never knew they existed. Kind of stuff like that. So, in the Wanted universe created by Mark Millar, the villains all came together and they defeated the heroes. What they did then is they divided up the world into various divisions, and they were overseen by, 4 or 5 different crime families. And they used the ability of one of their stupidly broken villains who basically altered reality so that the general public never knew that heroes and villains ever existed outside of comic books. So what happens is basically all these heroes and villains, they don't wear their costumes in plain sight unless they're, for the most part, although they do go off and they commit various crimes and things like, natural disasters or whatnot what is used to explain away things. Like if a juggernaut-like hero goes and destroys a city, they will just say an earthquake happened and things like that. Basically, the entire world is held more or less hostage. They can't ever break free because all the heroes were killed, except for maybe 2 or 3 that some villains decided would be it would be a crueler fate if they left these heroes alive, but as invalids. One of the nods is that Superman was real. They don't come out and say it, but they show you the silhouette of a man sitting in a mental hospital, and all he can do is basically stare out the window and just, that's all he can do. He can just stare out the window and imagine what if. It never goes further than showing you the silhouette and in the movie they changed it from supervillains to some faggy fraternity of weavers that follows a loom of fate that fucking tells who's got to kill who and whatnot. It's total stupid bullshit. They took out all the best parts. Yes, they couldn't have left in the the boots from the guy who at the beginning, who you see him in the movie, he jumps from one building to the next and then kills his would-be assassins only to himself be killed. In the comic, he does that, but he's wearing boots that look a lot like what Spider-Man was wearing. They're red and they got the webbing. And they allow him to run on walls. They could have left the beginning the way they did it in the movie. They couldn't put in a lot of the stuff, basically just because they felt that they would be sued for copyright infringement. Well, just change shit a little. Take the effort, change shit a little. Couple guys I wanted to see. I wanted to see Mr. Grimm. I wanted to not have him mention, oh, that's Mr. Grimm, and it's a fucking cloth-wrapped corpse being unloaded out of the back of a van. Mr. Grimm was badass. He basically looked like Black Mask looks now in Batman. Alright, so you can't have him look like Black Mask from Batman. Change his look. Have him fucking be wearing makeup or some shit, so that, and he paints his face to look like a skull. So yeah, it's kind of faggy, but whatever. Use some effort. There's the one villain, Sucker. Okay, he's basically Parasite, but he's called Sucker. That should be enough. He doesn't even look like Parasite. He's fucking an alien from another planet that decided to reside on Earth just because he liked sucking the powers of the superheroes and fucking around with their powers for a while. Like, I don't see what the big deal is. If you look at Marvel's stupid latest show, Superhero Squad, they got Animal Man. Animal Man's a DC hero. When did he go to Marvel? I'd like someone to point this out. I want to see some documentation where DC gave Marvel the ability to use Animal Man, and he's a blatantly looks exactly like him. He's the same color. He has animal transforming abilities, and that's the extent of his powers. I'm not sure. I think I might have saw an article on that at some point, but I can't remember. The Wesley's character, the killer, he never misses. That's the whole point of the killer. It's in his genetic code. He cannot miss a target. In the movie, he misses. Whatever. He also wears a badass outfit that makes him look like some sort of Spec Ops guy, straight out of Splinter Cell. Wearing a paintball mask, but whatever. There's just a whole lot more different things they could have did. It's just a very aggravating thing. I would have loved to see a lot of the superheroes and supervillains, or not the superheroes, but the supervillains. I would have liked to see the supervillains, because they chase down Wesley, much like they do in the movie, but they use superpowers and whatnot. It would have been a lot more interesting than fags running around curving bullets around corners and shit. Yeah, they do that in the comic, but it's explainable away by the fact that they're supervillains. They have special fucking powers. And Angelina Jolie's character, Fox, blatantly looks like Halle Berry, but, you know, they could have cast someone else other than Angelina Jolie. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's kind of just as bad as in the newest movie that's coming, fucking Kane and Lynch, where they cast fucking Jamie Foxx as Kane or Lynch or one of the other ones. I'm not even going to go there. And there's going to be a sequel. Wanted the comic. Go and read that. That is 1,000,000,000 times better than the movie will ever be, than the sequel will ever be. Fuck you, Hollywood. Stop ruining shit.